G'day, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kevin.
Welcome to Hidden Acres Homestead.
If you can't guess, it's another bee video. Today we're going to be going through and have a look at the hives.
Doing a follow-up?
Do a bit of a follow-up on the hive beetle traps that we put in. We'll check it out. So I've already gone through the hives a couple of months ago and swapped out the chucks cloth because they were just loaded. We'll go show you one of those. I kept one of those. But we're going to go through and check out the new chucks cloth. But mind you, it is now our winter, so things have sort of slowed down a lot. So let's go have a look.
Well, hang on. Let's talk about what traps we used. Okay. So it's been 3 months since we set the traps, and that's the recommended time for, which trap was that? The black one?
Yeah, the Apithor traps.
Yeah. They recommended you wait 3 months before you crack them open.
All right. So yeah, we've used the Apithor traps. We're going to cut one of those open and we'll check it out. But you'll also, if you watch the video or remember from the last video, if you've already watched it, we used about 4 or 5 different methods. So we used the chucks cloth, the oil traps, the Apithor traps, the Beetle Buster bottom boards, and we also used a external beetle trap. So we'll go through, have a look at those, and do a bit of a comparison.
Yeah, let's see how well they worked.
All right. So this one here will have the Apithor trap in the bottom. It will have a chucks cloth in the top and an oil trap. So this one actually has three different methods. So let's quickly pop this one open. Okay, like I said, that's a new chucks cloth that has been replaced, and we're in winter, so there's not a lot. I don't think there's even any on there. But
yeah, I don't see any there.
Okay, but what you'll see is the oil trap that has not been changed, so it's got quite a few beetles in there. We can pop that back in because it'll keep working until it's full. Okay, Jasmine's just going to place that back on there. Do you want to do the Apithor trap on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because the Apithor trap goes in the very bottom, we're just going to take the super off, give them a bit more smoke. You can see all the ladies on there. And as of yet, I have not seen a beetle.
Right there.
Oh.
And there?
Yep, there's some in the chucks cloth we had in the lower section. I can squash that one.
Oh. So we've got a couple of beetles. Oh, there's the live one there.
Yep. So there is still beetles about. Okay. But what you can see is this is the chucks cloth doing its job. You can see that the beetles get trapped. You can see one here right now. Its legs caught. And then eventually they just die. So the bees chew on it and try and get rid of it because it's not a natural thing for their hive to have in it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to crack this base off. You can see the bees are getting quite cranky. So this won't take long. And what we're going to do is lift this base. And Jasmine, can you grab that Apithor trap out for me, please? Can you get it?
Trying.
Got it. Okay.
There's beetles all over it.
Yep. Okay, so we're just going to put this hive back together and let these guys settle down.
I just had a bee commit suicide on my glove.
Yeah. so the bees usually aren't this cranky. It's just we've had a lot of rain, and the fuel that I use for my smoker, which is a paperbark tree, is rather damp, and my smoker keeps going out. So, for the purpose of this video, no, my bees usually aren't this cranky. Okay, so just for a comparison, we'll have a look in this hive, and then we'll
Can I put this up here?
Yeah, and then we'll look at a couple of the Beetle Buster ones, and we can do a comparison.
And the ones hanging in the tree.
Yep. So you can see the bees in this one. So once again, the oil trap's got a few.
Wait.
Okay. So this one, the bees look all nice. I'm not going to pull them apart because, like I said, we are in the middle of our winter. So if I was to squash a queen, that would be the end of this hive. Because if you didn't know, bees, they kick all the drones out during the winter. They're not needed, and they just eat the stores faster than what the bees would like. So all the drones get kicked out over winter, and then coming into spring, the queen will start laying more drones, and they will hatch drones ready for the upcoming spring for mating with new virgin queens. So what we're going to do now is we've pulled an Apithor trap out. We've seen a couple of the oil traps and the chucks cloth doing its job. Now we're going to go down to the Beetle Buster traps and have a look and see what they've done. I think that's a dead one. Yep, dead one. Okay, so these are the Beetle Buster bottom boards, and you can see there's hardly any beetles down the bottom of that. I don't know what this orange stuff is. Probably cappings of some sort. So you can see this one, it looks like the hive's actually got quite a bit of bloody wax moth. So we might pop this one and just check the health of the hive. It's always a bit concerning when you see wax moths in there. Okay, so you can see there's still a good number of bees in there. So why we would have wax moth, I don't know. But this side of the hive over here doesn't look real flash.
It looks mouldy.
Oh, it does, and I'll just put it back front. Okay, so I'm going to have to come back, I think, with some new frames for this one, and I'll just swap out all these frames that they're not using for good, clean, fresh ones, and try and solve this problem. Because you can see the bees are only working this side here, the northern side, and that'll be because we're in our winter. The sun comes predominantly from the north, so they're getting the warmth over here, and they've basically abandoned this half of the hive. So we can come back and replace probably 5 frames in there and try and get this one back under control.
And why do you want to replace the 5 frames?
These 5 frames, we can see just on top, looks like there's a bit of humidity issues. There's a bit of mold, and I'd say we've got a bit of wax moth damage on them as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We could probably go into the 5th frame, and then from then on the bees look to be working those frames. So we'll bring back some more frames for those and hopefully get them sorted. So we'll throw our chucks cloth back in. So that one had no beetles in it this second time around.
Did you see beetles in the hive, or you couldn't tell?
Didn't see any beetles, just mainly wax moths. So in the hive I didn't see any beetles, and we're just seeing the wax moths in the drawer down below. So we'll get onto that one and try and clean it up before we lose it. Once again, there's a couple of dead wax moths, but you can see there is beetles in there. But these bases have been on there a good while now, so it'll be interesting to see when we go through and do our inspections in spring whether we have beetles up on that. Well, here's one here. Okay, we're just going to head over. We got a lychee tree just beside the bees. We're going to go check that trap and see what it looks like. I think it's all dried out. It's been neglected a little bit. So this trap, we had sugar, yeast, honey and water in it. If you refer back to a previous video, you will actually see the actual quantities and stuff.
We'll put the link in the description down below.
Yeah, so you can see there that there is a whole lot of insects that have been caught, and here's a beetle still alive. Okay, so it got a few beetles. I think, to be fair, we neglected this trap a bit, but we will surely try it again.
Right, next up we're going to look through the Apithor trap, see how we can go about breaking it open.
Yes, we've never opened these before. This is our first time using them, so we're just going to try and pop it with the hive tool and see if we can't get into it. Okay. Already see some dead beetles rolling out. So you can see the little mummified beetles, and look at that. I think that has worked awesome. Look at all those little dead beetles in there. Okay. So I definitely think we'll be trialling those Apithor traps again, and we'll keep using the chucks and the oil traps because they're nice and easy to use. The Beetle Busters, I've seen them work in the past. They seem to be fairly good. So I think we've had all over success. Now we just got to go redo them all again. These Apithor traps have they've got a life expectancy of about 3 months, so I'm going to get some more of them and we'll put them in and try and take care of these beetles. All right.
Thanks for checking out this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now and help us get to 100 subscribers. We'd love that.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time.